Alrighty. What's going on, friends and neighbors, and all you people that watch this channel? This is your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you from a cool, crisp morning down here in Robeson County, North Carolina, where the interior temperature of my truck reads 41 degrees. We went from almost a high of 80 yesterday to a low of, well, our high got to about 71, I'm sorry. But to drop from 71 to 41 this morning, woohoo! Our high today is only supposed to get up to 61, so maybe winter's finally coming. Only time will tell. But anyway, folks, I hope everybody's doing all right on this Wednesday morning. To all my fellow veterans out there, I hope you had a great and wonderful Veterans Day. I really didn't do much anything but sit in the house and watch TV, and then went outside and did a little bit of range therapy with some people, and that's about it. But yesterday was some more range therapy. Range therapy's good for the soul. So let's talk this morning about some of President-elect Trump's cabinet picks. I'm sure some people are already starting to talk about that. Really kind of surprised at his selection for Secretary of Defense, to be quite honest. I'm not arguing the selection of the choice. He's a young man. But you know what? That might be what the DOD actually freaking needs, is somebody with a different insight than the old crusties that have served in that position in years past. Not to mention he's a serving officer and has seen combat. He's been there on the front lines. He's been there where the rubbers met the road. I think he'll bring a perspective of how to fix the troops in the trenches kind of mentality to the office. I've watched him when I used to watch Fox News before they went lib-turd. A lot of his segments. He's a very well-spoken and articulate young man. Pretty much knows what he's talking about. So we'll see how well he does as SecDef. I find that one to be a very interesting selection, and honestly, I think it's a good one. The Secretary of Homeland Defense, Department of Homeland Defense, Kristi Noem, former governor of South Dakota. Again, a fairly relatively young lady compared to others that have held these positions throughout, I guess. And she's easy on the eyes. What I'm telling you, she's a very attractive young lady. But given her record in South Dakota, she's a no-nonsense leader. Then his border czar, Tom Hoffman. He was the one that was one of the rallies talking about the first thing they're going to do once the president's in office is start the mass deportation of illegal immigrants, which I'm all for. But also getting the drug cartels declared terrorist organizations. That's absolutely outstanding. Why our country has not done that to this day yet, and when I say our country, I'm talking about you, me, us, the people demanding it, making it happen. We can play the conspiracy games and the dark shadow secret games of, the CIA's kept a lot of these cartels in business because the intel they provide on other organizations, this, that, and the other, how the CIA has used the cartels for money, and all of which could be very well true. can't elaborate one way or the other because I got no proof. But would I put it past our Central Intelligence Agency to do that to us? No, not at all. Not at all. But if we can get those drug cartels declared as a terrorist organization, and we can go after them with full-on military might, without any real special provisions or acts from Congress, that means this is the old soldier's opinion. Once they're declared a terrorist organization, it's going to force some of them South American countries to either crap or get off the pot if they want continued support from the U.S. to help train their police and their military to fight them. Because if they don't start curtailing them, they're just going to go there and blow the shit out of them, pardon my language. Not safe for working kids. Who knows, maybe possibly that could happen in Mexico. I'm speculating there. But I would dare say if you're gonna blow the crap out of one country, might as well blow them out of all that support the cartels. But maybe that'll force Mexico to go down to their border with Guatemala and put it down on a super tight lockdown. Now, is that going to curtail all the illegal immigration coming through? No. I mean, they can get on a boat and come around and come through oceanfront somewhere. But my point I'm getting at is, if I was the leader of a South American nation right now, and I was getting money from the U.S. to train my police and military, and I know the cartels in my country, they're going to declare it a terrorist organization so they can come in and use U.S. military might to end them. I might want to think about, I better put my own army to work and get this done, because I don't really want, an entire U.S. Army division in my country basically telling me what I can and can't do until this threat's been eliminated. And that's my opinion. You can express yours in the comments below. That's what the comment section's for. I could be entirely off base. Who knows? But that would be good to see him do that. With that being said, I would like to see him take the Border Patrol and make them a part of the armed forces and not a law enforcement department. What do you mean, old soldiers? Well, the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is tasked with protecting the waters around our country and also all freshwater bodies of water as far as safety and whatnot. But the Coast Guard has a law enforcement type job, and part of that is interdiction of foreign illegals coming into the country via water, along with law enforcement, drug smuggling, the whole 9 yards. Coast Guard has been involved in it for years, but they're also part of the U.S. Armed Forces. No, they're not a part of the Department of Defense. In peacetime, they are part of the Department of Homeland Security. Back when I first joined the Army, they were part of the Department of the Treasury. Then they got moved into the Department of Transportation, now the Department of Homeland Security. In the time of war, they fall up under the Department of the Navy. The Border Patrol can be done the same way. They'd still be a part of the Department of Homeland Security, but they'd be considered a part of the armed forces. They could grow and expand based on that. Give more manning at the border, because now they're military branch. Different rules apply. In time of a war, you could put them under the Department of the Army. That's what I would do. And then they'd be given explicit instructions of, okay, when you catch illegals at the border, they are to be detained until they can be sent back. And if they engage you, take them out. Not that there's been that many instances of that happening, but they catch the so-called coyotes that are bringing people in, arrest them on site. You take them into custody. You take the people that are trying to smuggle across, take them to a center, put them them on a bus. The bus goes across the border and drops them off and comes back. Period.com. End of story. But anyways, for your brother Kyle, hope everybody, like I said, is doing good. Just wanted to touch base with you folks today. Say hello and all that good happy stuff, and share what I think about some of the cabinet picks that are coming into play. I was reading about some of them, and for the most part I think they're pretty good choices. I haven't seen the entire list of them. I did see something in the news that pissed me off this morning in regard to the cabinet picks, but little freaking communist idiot on WRAL News this morning. They're talking about how it's traditional for the outgoing president to invite the incoming president to a lunch at the White House. And then she went off and spouted how Trump broke that tradition when he was still sticking to the false claim that the election had been stolen. Nothing false about it. It was. It's just the mainstream media still does not want to admit. If you don't believe it, you look at by how many votes Joe Biden won the last election. If you go look at the election results now, it's about the same number of votes that didn't show up at all this election. Go figure. Now, whether that was done by design or by hook or crook, there's a lot of things running around in the rumor mill there about, Joe Biden put Kamala out there knowing that she wouldn't win, knowing that he could leave office, stating that he was the only person to beat Donald Trump in an election. A whole litany of things that go in his favor in that regard. Not that I can get one way or the other about Joe Biden looking good. I would say that I'm surprised that Joe Biden has been a little more magnanimous knowing that Donald Trump won than I give him credit for. That's about the only thing I'll give Joe Biden credit for. I think him and his son ought to be in jail. Along with 90% of his cabinet appointees. But anyway, folks, I'm going to get off here. Getting ready to roll into work here in a few minutes. Y'all stay safe. Keep your eyes open, ears to the ground. Keep your head on swivel. Because like I said, last video after the election, I don't think the other shoe's dropped yet. So, celebrate the victory, but stay vigilant. More to follow. Friendly Neighborhood Old Soldier out.